everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are on ClearUrSht week 3. So this is what I'm doing for my reading for the rest of the year. I'm doing the ClearUrSht readathon, which runs from November 1st through December 31st, and we are officially on week 3 now. I'm starting fresh this week. We finished everything that I needed to read last week, and we now need to look at our prompts. Let me pull those up because I have not looked at them yet. Here we go. Okay, our first prompt that we have, let's start at the very top with our scenario, our plot that we are going through as well, because this is a story sort of readathon. So it says, curiously, the board begins to fill with words, and while this does not fit your normal history with mini bosses, the library's first mini-boss being made up of words seems more than fitting to all of you. Okay, so we're gonna have our first mini-boss. The first part of the board dictates that you must confront your own reading weaknesses, and the second presents you with a riddle. Okay, cut me once, I do not bleed. I've crooked teeth, but no mouth to feed. I can be chained, yet set you free. Knowing all that, what can I be? Okay, I do not know what this riddle could be. Let's get down into what our mini boss is. I talked about my weaknesses on the plan for this readathon because we had, I think, like 4 or 5 weaknesses, 4 or 5 strengths, and 4 or 5 weapons that we can use. And so there are mystery prompts in this readathon. Technically, you can actually see what like all the prompts are prior to when they drop every week, but there are a few that are mysteries, and this is one of them. So the one that I picked for my weakness was the like unending TBR of doom, the very first one, which was that you always have a TBR that's over 150. Mine's almost 600, and that's part of the reason we're doing this. We're mood reading my TBR down with this readathon. So, number 1, yeah, TBR of doom. Read the longest book on your TBR. Okay, well, I am glad that I did not carry over a book with me. I have no freaking idea what the longest book on my TBR is, and I'm not looking forward to this. When I was looking through all of the different weaknesses, I'm not going to change it, but I had quite a few that I could have done. So one of the other ones was a ClearUrSht weakling. You always fail ClearUrSht. That is also me. I always fail. So that one was read the book you're least excited to read. Okay, I don't want to do that either. Maximalist, when you have more books than you have bookshelves, read a book that doesn't fit on your shelves. Okay, that makes sense to me. I didn't pick that one, obviously, but like that would make sense. If you have too many books that don't fit on your shelves, you just have to pick one that's not on the shelves already. Number 4, number 1 hater, you love to hate read. That is definitely not me, but that one you would have to read a book you have very low expectations for. And then the last one is commitment issues. You say you'll read something, but you don't. That is me. I don't always read everything on my TBR. And that is to read a book that someone recommended. That's not too bad, but no, we're gonna go with the top one, which means I need to pull up my list of everything. Okay, pulling up my TBR. We're currently on publication year. We don't want that. We want number of pages. Is this gonna be at the top or the bottom? No, reverse. Okay. My largest number of pages is The Tommyknockers by Stephen King at 979. There's no way I'm reading 900 pages this week, but also that is technically something I need for a separate vlog project that I started like 2 years ago that I have not completed yet. So I actually do need to save that. So thankfully, the next largest book that I have here is Flashback by Shannon Messenger, Keeper of the Lost Cities, book 7. And this is a book that I literally just mentioned in my last video, which was the end of the year book tag. One of the questions was books that you've started reading this year that you still need to finish, and this one fits that prompt. So thank God. I need to read this one. So this one, what did it say? Was like 845 pages. I started this back in March. I read about 200, and we still had this much left anyway, because it took me out of a reading slump. Like, I literally picked this to take me out of a reading slump. It did, and then I went back to my actual TBR books that I was supposed to read, put this down, and never picked it back up. This is a middle grade fantasy series that I've absolutely been loving. Like, every single book, I want to say I had given 5 stars because we get so much in here. So much with the characters. I love the friendship aspect. Like, I just really, really love this series. And even though I haven't read it since March, I knew I needed to finish this by the end of the year. So I was hoping this was going to come up at some point. And literally, I cannot read the Tommyknockers right now. Otherwise, I would. I promise. But we now need to read this one. This one will go by quicker, even though it is 800 and something pages. I don't think I need to reread anything. I could potentially just start over on this as well, because it has been months now. But yeah, book 7 in a middle grade fantasy series. This will go by quicker than Stephen King would at any rate. Okay, that worked out better than I thought it would, because I know, I'm technically cheating a little bit, but I can't do the other one yet. I can't. So this is my second longest book. This is everything. Like, even the third longest book on this list, I probably would not have picked if that one did pop up, only because it is technically a trilogy in one, and I'm going to count the books separately when I actually read them, but it's a bind up. This is not a bind up. This is a singular book. Okay, we can do this one. We can definitely do this one. Red and yellow make orange. So the kids got their stuff. So she has Arizona petrified wood and serpentine and labradorite and a fossil and carnelian. Very pretty. And then Presley also has petrified wood, but this is from Washington. And then he also picked labradorite. Very pretty.
I have a decal.
And serpentine. And these are from Washington, actually, near Spokane.
Does he have a decal on that?
I know, I'll take a sticker off. And then he also has a very shiny fossil.
Yep.
And he has hematite. That is so pretty. It's very heavy.
Yeah, I don't have hematite.
You didn't have any hematite yet.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
This is my first hematite.
It is. That's awesome.
Hematite.
Well, that's carnelian. That's very pretty. You picked that one all by yourself.
I know we read about this in the gem book.
We did read about that in the gem book. That's so cool.
Yeah, I already know it.
It looks like hematite to you? Okay.
Eliza. Oh, and Magic yawning too.
Okay. We're home. We've been home for a while. I did not read anything yesterday, even though it was the first day of this new week. And that's because it's that time of the month and I just had no motivation. So I ended up like watching some stuff instead on TV. But we went to the like gem fair thing. The kids got some really cool gems. It was a good time. And then once we got home, I just didn't want to really do anything. So we were on the couch for a while and I did read for about an hour and got over 100 more pages into Flashback. So we're now here. That actually looks pretty impressive now compared to what it was. And it is very, very quick to get into. This is obviously the 7th book in a series, so I'm not gonna be able to like say too much about the actual like plot and whatnot. But I'm really liking the characters and stuff. Obviously, we are at a bit of a slower point because of stuff that had happened at the beginning of this. I did have to go on like the wiki for this to be like, what did I read back in March for those first 200 pages? Because I didn't think I was going to reread them. Like, I did consider it,
but according to my Bookly app, which is what I use to track all my reading, I had read for over 2 hours already, and so that would have been 2 more hours that I was adding on to this, obviously. And so now I think based on how much time I have left, I still have like 4.5 hours or so left reading the book. But I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm necessarily going to be rereading that. So I did look up just the very beginning part, and I was like, okay, I know where we're at. We had a little bit more stuff happened at the very beginning, and now we're at a slightly slower part, but like it's very character development focused, which I do enjoy. I feel like this is one of those things that, like, even though it is a huge book, even though there are parts that could be a little bit slow, there is a lot of development and things happening with characters and relationships and like friendships and things like that, obviously. So I don't mind it. Like, I really was enjoying what I was reading. I will probably try to read more tonight. But yeah, I mean, I can't really get into much because this is so far into the series. But yeah, very happy reading about an hour. Got a little bit more than 100 pages in. Not quite halfway. I bet if I did another hour's worth of reading, it would probably be closer to about halfway through the book. Yeah. It's another rainy day today, obviously. Happens quite often in the like fall time. Personally, I love the rain, but walking to and from school sometimes it's a little annoying, mostly because like I put on a sweater, you can see blue here, and my rain jacket, and now I'm hot. It said it was like 40 something, but you know, whatever. They are building houses on this like way to and from school, which is cool because like we're renting right now, and like, we have one pretty much put up within the last like less than a week, which is really cool. Hopefully we get to buy one eventually, but we'll see like what the timeline of everything is. But so Presley's at school, we're going home, probably gonna read. I'll let you guys know, but like
Okay, we're home. Like I said, it was raining earlier, so I did have to wait a little bit of time to let my hair dry. I love having my like curly hair and everything, but sometimes when it gets rainy outside, it ends up being a little bit crazier in the frizz department. Although I do feel like some of the curls are better anyway. I did not read any more last night. I'm sorry. I read that like 100-something pages that I talked to you guys about before in Flashback, and I was gonna read more, but I was just really, really tired, so I didn't. I am now planning to actually go and read more right now. Elliot, literally, we came downstairs this morning, and right before I was like getting them their breakfast and everything like that, she sat on the couch and looked at like my end table and was like, "Mommy, where is your book?" And I'm like, I didn't grab it yet. I will. But I actually had a pre-order come in yesterday that I just didn't get to open yet, so I figured since we're here doing readathons and reading vlogs, let's rip into it. That did not work. Let's open the book and show you guys what I had pre-ordered. Here we go. It is The Seventh Champion by Sylvia Mercedes. I absolutely love this cover. It is gorgeous. And this is a paperback. It says it was $19. I'm pretty sure this is an adult book because this author usually does adult titles. The top says, a dragon princess joins forces with a scarred prince to escape a competition for her hand in marriage. Unaware he is hiding dark secrets of his own in the first of a new romantasy duology. So yes, this should be adult romantasy. I love the fact that we're supposed to have some sort of competition, and it's obviously a competition for her hand, and I think she like goes behind maybe her father's back or something for this guy, because he's supposed to like help her out. I don't know. Ooh, I do like the fact that on the chapter headers, we have like flowers and stuff. Very excited to have this one. We'll see when I get to it, but I'm trying not to purchase any books for the end of the year because of the fact that we're doing the Clear Your Shit readathon, obviously. So anything that comes in is for pre-orders or book boxes, things that like I've already sort of had in mind that way. I've already paid for, that kind of thing. I think this is my last pre-order for this year because I want to say there was one more that I had pre-ordered, but I looked recently just to see when things were coming in, and that one is actually now March of next year. So I think this is our last pre-order, so I shouldn't be having too many other things coming in the future. But it is now time to grab my book, go downstairs, and get all comfy with the girl because she wanted me to read.
Da da da, da da da, da da da, da da da.
Good morning, everyone. It is the very next day, so we are Tuesday now already. I did read for a little over another hour yesterday and got over another 100 pages in. I'm officially just over halfway through the book now, and I'm still liking it. I'm still really enjoying my time because of the fact that I love the characters and I love the development and all this kind of stuff. But I will say, because of an incident at the beginning of the book from like back when I read it in March, the last 2 hours that I read were with characters who were injured and literally like bedbound. So we've just been talking a lot. I am at the point where I'm like, okay, the books are huge. I obviously get it, but I want us to move along. We need to pick up the story more. I think it's going to. It just is at a point where I'm like, that might be a little bit too much talking, even though usually I really do enjoy it. We'll have to see what rating I give this once we actually get into more of the plot. It is so foggy outside that this is what my glasses look like coming into a house that is only like 65 degrees. I also think it's probably 30 something outside right now. It is quite cold. I'm in one sweater and leggings, but that's because I pushed the kids to school in their wagon, and I do feel like I work up more, where if I overdress sometimes I'm too warm, even for the weather, which, you know, is interesting. But we are home. It is Wednesday. I did a little bit of reading and filming for my other vlog yesterday, so I still have, I want to say I'm 300 pages from the end of Flashback, or maybe a little bit less. I don't know. My glasses are going to take a while. At least you guys can see my eyeballs now. It's so weird. I'm supposed to film today. My hair is actually not the best, but I did wash it this morning in the intense of filming. But I'm currently in the middle of 2 reading vlogs this week because of things that I was already planning on doing before ClearUrSht started. And so I'm at the point where I'm a little bit cold because we just came inside, and I think I want to just sort of read today. So I think I try not to do this. I think I'm gonna skip Thursday's video so that hopefully I can put out a Saturday video, but then also 2 reading vlogs. Like, I'm just at the point where like I need to finish Flashback. I need to pick more for this video too, but I'm also in the middle of another book, and I have at least 1 or 2 other books that I want to read for the other vlog. Like, I'm a little bit overbooked this week, which I'm happy about in the fact that I want to do it all. But I'm now at the point where I'm like, I don't know if I have time to film and edit when I could be finishing maybe Flashback today. I'm also watching Heart of Dixie, which I had never watched when it first came out. I know it's from like 2011. It's so old. It's a little bit cheesy, but I am sort of obsessed at this point. I started watching it because like last week, literally started last week, I saw a post on Threads that was like, Gilmore Girl gets all the love and nobody talks about Heart of Dixie. And it was supposed to be like, if you're looking for that type of vibe, I'm guessing small town sort of thing, try Heart of Dixie. And so I tried it. It's obviously very different. It does have that sort of sarcastic, this one's very cheesy though, but it also has like medical stuff. Like it's like part small town comedy drama and part medical drama. And so I'm enjoying it. And so when I don't read right now on my downtime, so like if I'm eating a meal, I will put something on the TV usually. Right now I'm watching Heart of Dixie. Or last night I put the kids to bed and then I did some filming stuff for my other vlog. And when I came back to bed, it was about that time to start winding down, and I didn't want the light on. So I turned it off, and instead of reading, because the light was off, and I have a book light, but like, you know, I decided to watch an episode. And then Elliot ended up coming into our bed anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to really have a book light until she fully fell asleep anyway. So yeah, I just want to like sit and read. Maybe I can finish that book today. Okay, yeah, I'm calling it right now. I try not to do this. I'm going to skip a video so I can read. So I'm pausing because it's lunchtime now and we are so close because there's actually a little bit of like extra stuff in the back that I might or might not read. We'll see. I read for just over an hour, like an hour and 3 minutes, and I read 137 pages. I will say the stuff that I've read so far today picked up the pace a little bit more. It still is one of those books that's like not as exciting, not as action-packed as some of the others. Some of the others really get into some of the other stuff. But the part that I just read was so good. Like I'm obsessed with this series in general. I will say that some of the parts that I read did deal with pregnancy and tough pregnancy stuff. Nothing bad necessarily, but I know that can be something that maybe people don't want to deal with. But we did do that. And then one thing that I probably should mention, just because it is like the 7th book in this series, Sophie, our main character, is 15 in this one. I think in book 1, she's like 12. I want to say sometimes I think she's 11, but I was trying to like double check things. I think she's around 12. So obviously things have progressed from book 1 to book 7. Obviously it's not like one of those one book a year type of things. She's not aging a whole year every single book, but she is 15, which is an intriguing age because some of the friends that she has are older. So like some of the boys are 16 or 17. A lot of her friends are around her age. But it does mean that we get into crushes and things like that. And for being a middle grade book, it does still read more middle grade than young adult. We're getting into that younger young adult territory as well. Older middle grade, younger young adult. And so it's really nice to read those sort of first crushes and things like that. It doesn't necessarily take away from the story for me because I do feel like a lot of this, even though we do get some parts that are more action-packed, there is a whole like conspiracy thing going on in the background. This book right now feels a little bit slower, a little bit more character-focused, and so because of that, the relationship focus on some of the stuff that I just read as well fits. And yeah, I just love the characters so much. It gives me all the feels. And so, yeah. A little bit left. I think my Bookly app is saying I have like an hour and 20 minutes left, I want to say, in this book total. I'm at page 679, and it's like 840 something. So I have, obviously, like 150-ish pages left around there. So I'm going to eat lunch. I'm definitely going to finish this today and then probably start reading for my other vlog, and then I'll come back obviously, but we're almost there. We're getting it done. Oh, you're doing on that side? Good job. It's far away. You can do it.
Mommy, look, bird.
Yeah, you saw birds?
Yes.
Good. Good job. Ready? Woo, good job. Go away. Come on, wait, come back, come back. Go away. Wait, come back, come back. Go away. Elliot, come here, come here. Wait, come back. Go away. Oh, you're silly.
Look at the front.
Yeah, look at the front. Is that a big old leaf?
Yes.
Okay, so it is actually Thursday night. Never came back and talked to you guys. I finished this yesterday. I finished this yesterday afternoon, like I thought I was going to. And I never came back and told you guys. So basically, I think I'm going with 4.5, because I don't think I didn't enjoy it enough to give it a 4. Like, I'm absolutely in love with the series, obviously. It picked up and got into a little bit more stuff in the last, like, 100 pages, but this is over 800 pages, so there was a lot of sort of filler stuff, but I still really, really enjoyed it. So I obviously talked about a lot of the stuff that, like, happened in the middle, the sort of, like, character things. Like, obviously, I love this series so much. So much happened in the last 100 pages that it then sets up for another book. Obviously, I really, really want to get into it. Like, it got to a point where I'm like, I need the next one. However, these things are super chunky, and we actually need to look at our other prompts because today is Thursday and I did not read anything for this vlog today. And technically we only have through tomorrow before we get new prompts on Saturday. So let's jump into that stuff. So number 8, because this was prompt number 7. So this was to read the longest book of my TBR. Obviously it wasn't like the longest one. It was the longest one that I could read easily. And so prompt number 8. As at least one of you cries out, "A key!" there is a shuddering from under the board. A trapdoor opens, and below are a set of stairs. The board now only clearly states the inner sanctum and an arrow. It seems you have no choice but to proceed and discover what it is this mysterious place is leading you to. So this is to read a book with magical elements in it. Now, I'm going to combine it with my last prompt, because there are definitely magical elements in the Key Where the Lost City series, Flashback. Also, the things that I'm reading for the other vlog that I'm trying to do concurrently also have magical elements in it. So we are going to say that I have completed that prompt as well. Now let's move on to prompt number 9. So as you wander down these endless stairs, the young child begins talking about the library itself, how it has helped raise them, name them, and led them to writing the letters. The story is curious, and the librarian, following behind you, has said nothing, but her distaste of this tale is palatable. Each comment seems to make the gold and the bricks glimmer, as though they are powered through the words of stories themselves. Eventually, Hawthorne admits that they have no idea what the library is actually for, and to this, the librarian interrupts. The library provides its patrons with books. Obviously, who its patrons are is perhaps what makes the library special, but we don't discuss those details with people who do not work for the library, or are owned by the library, Hawthorne mutters. The librarian seems to pretend she does not hear this, so we have to read a book with gold on the cover. So I have an idea for this one, which is Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which means on the front there actually is some like gold foiling details. Hopefully we can see how shiny. There's a little bit there. On the like wallpaper aspect. Normally this book would not actually have gold on the cover, but because it is the Barnes & Noble edition, it does. And the reason I'm picking this is because it is shorter. This one is one of the shortest books that I have recently, 255 pages it looks like. And I absolutely loved the first book in this series. I read it earlier this year, 5 out of 5 stars. I do think this is going to make me emotional just because I was very emotional with the first one. Basically, this is going to be like a continuation of stories about this cafe. In the first one, we like come to learn that people can time travel in this cafe if they like have a cup of coffee in a certain spot. And we have like 4 stories, I want to say, that deal with different people who have come to the cafe and things. And so I'm assuming this is going to be in the same vein. It does seem like, because it's Tales from the Cafe, that we are going to be maybe doing more of those stories, more of the stuff. So like they almost feel like separate short stories, but they are interconnected with the people that are there. And so obviously the first one
because I did not say, was Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I feel like that was a very popular one, like around the first time it came out in English and things. And so now this series has multiple books in it, and this is the second one. So I'm going to be going with this one for the gold. I do think this is definitely something that I can read, hopefully in like one day, so that I can read this tomorrow, and then we can start fresh on our next vlog on Saturday. I'm very excited. Also, like I said, I do think I'm going to get emotional because the first one was. But yeah, I love the first one so much. I definitely need to continue. Okay, it is Friday night. Kids are gonna get ready to go do a bath in just a second, and I have finished Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. There are 4 short stories in here, which is very similar to Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I will say I don't think I liked this one as much as the first one. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I do still think it was good. I do still think there were certain scenes and pieces that really pulled at your emotions like the first one did. However, I feel like it was a little bit one note to me. There are 4 different stories, like I said, about different people who like go back in time to try and meet people that they knew. So like story 1 is best friend, story 2 is mother and son, story 3 is lovers, and story 4 is married couple. We do still have the same sort of characters who work in the cafe. We get a little bit more from them. This is definitely set more in the future than Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I think it's like 6 or 7 years in the future. And I say 6 or 7 because we are sort of like near the beginning of the story, about 6 years, and then we have moved more through each story so that we're closer to 7. So around that time period. And I really do like the fact that we do get separate stories, but the side characters and the people that work in the cafe are obviously still the same ones from previous, and so we get a little bit more about them each time. The reason I'm saying it's more one note though is the way that the first book was, Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I feel like it really easily drove us into what the story was going to be. Like the first story in that one was about a girl who wanted to go back in time because she didn't want to break up with her boyfriend, sort of thing. And then we eventually get into like Alzheimer's and people that you know, like family and stuff passing away. This one we did have some more terminal illness type of things, but almost every single person that was in this story is people are going back in time because they died. The first one wasn't. And so it just felt like the same sort of reason over and over. The messaging is still good. I still really liked a lot of the emotions and stuff it had, but I didn't think it was as good as the first one. There are definitely more in this series. I don't know how many more, at least like 3 or 4 or 5 more. So I definitely want to continue because I do like them. This took me less than 2 hours to read, total. It was throughout the day, so it took longer like overall, but like actual sit down reading time on my Bookly app, it was like 1 hour and 50 minutes. So like it's a very quick thing to read, and I like that fact. I like that it's a little bit more pocket sized. The font is a little bit bigger. This is a very like, not exactly cozy read, but like that's sort of like a quick, easy, emotional read, but like I like that fact. So yeah, that's where we're at. This is our last book, obviously, for this week. We're going to be getting new prompts next week, which I'm very excited about. I have no idea what they are because I've been trying to do this very like one at a time so that we can mood read our picks. And yeah, this, like I said before, obviously was for the gold on there. There is gold on this one because it's the Barnes & Noble one. But yeah, overall,
pretty good week. I enjoyed the things that I read, and I guess I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Bye!